My lord, the ship appears to be deserted, but the bridge seems to be run by computer. It is the only thing speaking.
Speaking? Let me hear.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Get out!
3.
Get out of there! Get out!
1.
Without the proper web presence, your business is bleeding money. Stop the hemorrhaging with the Edge of the Web and Aaron Sparks.
You're listening to the Edge of the Web from Site Strategics. Hey, I tell you what, in the news today, or in the news this week, we're talking about different lawsuits, and Samsung just got a bit of a destruction right there, at least handed to them from a patent office, or the patent lawsuit. This is Edge of the Web with Site Strategics. We're talking about internet marketing services for your business to increase your bottom line. That's what we're focused on, and we're giving a lot of information regularly to be able to share with our audience. You can always contact us throughout the week at 877-SEO for web, or that translates to 877-736-4932. You can also reach us on the local Indianapolis number at 317-882-8500. We're always happy to sit down and talk about strategy with you. We sit down and review your website on a regular basis, so don't be afraid. Give us a shout if you have any questions about what we talk about. You can also even post up a question into hashtag EdgeTalk on Twitter. We're constantly monitoring that throughout the show as well as afterwards. So, hey, post up a question about anything we're talking about. All right, getting into it, we have another news item that's pretty interesting for this week, as well as what we heard back earlier this week with the Samsung Apple lawsuit. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, that's right, Aaron. There's a lot of lawsuits out there. Samsung just lost a lawsuit that Apple presented against them, infringing upon quite a bit of patents. One more famously known as the push to zoom, or you pull your two fingers together to zoom in on your screen. Apple holds that patent and actually won a lawsuit against Samsung. Well, Google's entering in the game, and they are actually seeking a ban on iPhone, iPads on the patent lawsuits that they're going against Apple on. What was it? It is the 20th. This came out on Search Engine Watch. Google's Motorola actually, and to give a little backstory here, Google actually bought Motorola about a year ago, but it didn't actually go through.
Not the entire company, but the mobile
division. Yeah, it didn't actually get approved until earlier this year.
Right.
So now they have a portfolio of new mobile patents that they're actually looking to now sue Apple for, and they're trying to seek a ban on iPhone and iPad. More importantly, this is going after the Siri voice feature within the iPhone.
Correct, and if you're not familiar with that, you can actually talk to the phone. It's got a function that actually you can interact with. You can find a lot of different data, and it ties into a search engine called Wolfram, right? Yeah,
Alpha Wolfram. It's more of a mathematical, more semantic search engine, not to get too technical, but basically it's a more pure search engine, and it's actually not muddied up by all the link building over the years that Google's acquired. So there's some fear from Google, and rightful fears, thinking that there's market to be taken from the 48% that I think Apple owns mobile market of now. All that is powered by Siri, which is now connected through Alpha Wolfram. So there's a legitimate fear there. Google's trying to protect their search engine, and Apple's got quite a bit of a mobile market that everybody's searching through that search engine on.
What's happening is search is getting to that mobile environment even more so than desktop search. People are actually searching on their phones. These smartphones are robust with features. We all know that, and the better the actual execution of finding what you need. The leader out there is going to be monetized as well. They're going to be able to deliver advertisement for advertisers, going to be able to inject advertising search queries into this entire thing. So, there's a big cash cow on the other side of this mobile search. So, one of the things that you talked about was actually kind of interesting is that the link building, all the plethora, using plethora again, sorry, I'm supposed to do one word per show. There's a massive amount of links out there, and what happened just recently was the Google Penguin update, which was a huge penalty against people with paid links as well as garbage links that are out there that were trying to game the system to get validity to their website, right? So what you're seeing here is Penguin most likely came out not just for search relevance, but for voice search relevance because they're trying to clean up their own backyard.
Right.
There's also, we got artificial links out there that Google's trying to actually reduce. They're cleaning their waters out, so pay attention to this particular scenario because you may see, because Motorola has in the past been bringing Apple to court for patent infringements, just like Apple just won against Samsung.
Right.
So you may see Google fighting this war pretty furiously just to make sure that they secure that mobile search environment.
Yep.
All right, going into our overview of our one of our main topics today here, social media analogies. What I want to talk about is some concepts because a lot of times it's difficult to actually explain to your friends or your colleagues or more importantly your bosses about inbound marketing concepts, and it's complicated for people to grasp if they're new to things like SEO or social media or blogging. Anything that's digital marketing, frankly, can be pretty confusing, and you need to understand some of these concepts. And we came up with a few analogies of what how to actually consider these things. Well, inbound marketing. Here's our first analogy here. Inbound marketing is kind of like dating. Okay. You don't ask someone to marry you on the first date, do you?
Yeah.
No. Oh. People get kind of freaked out when you do that. So, you get to know each other, then introduce friends, the family, and then, once the whole package looks good, you put the ring on it, right? So, but if you're doing something like slapping a contact us on, or as the only call to action on every page of your website, that's essentially what you're doing. You're wanting them to marry you immediately, commit right now. I need you to fill out information, give me all your private information. And people are absolutely going to be reluctant to do that. And on top of that, they can get a bit of a negative reluctancy or a negative brand happening there. Right?
I like this analogy. I think of the very first time, your very first impression is that site, the way a site looks.
Yep.
That site's looking old. You might want to just leave, right? I mean, that's the bounce rate, right? So
that's true.
We can tell it now if people are coming, 1,000 people, and if we get 50% of those people just drop off, we might want to get a new profile pic up on that dating site there.
That's right. She doesn't look that good.
Not looking good. At the same time,
nobody wants to take me to the prom. Give them a reason to try you out. Maybe an ebook, maybe a downloadable something that doesn't make them commit. I mean, the Golden Chalice is that email, because once they reveal that email, then you can hit them up with some additional points of contact and ultimately try to get that sale. Right. Well, don't do that. If they have an ebook, allow them just to download it. Give them time to spend on the site itself. Kick around the look and feel of the site. Don't press them so much on having to commit. It can be a negative experience. All right. Another analogy. Blogging. Blogging is like jogging. Anybody who knows me, I love to jog, right? All right. If you're going to see better results if you do 30 minutes a day, every other day, than if you run like a total maniac once a month, okay? Yeah. If you do blogging 30 minutes a day, you're training your audience as well to anticipate it, as opposed to belching up, 5 articles in one setting, and nobody can actually understand the process nor and when to expect that next bit of information. You often hear people say that they've tried blogging, but it doesn't work. And whenever we dig a little deeper, we find that they blog for 3 days in a row. Right? Last January. Mm-hmm. And then gave up when their site didn't turn up any traffic. Well, there's no big shock there because you're not giving more and more information to Google. You're not training even Google to come back, or the search engines in general to come back and lap up more information. So what you thought you did, you didn't really do.
And that principle holds true on a lot of things. It's just creating a habit, and not even social media and blogging. You just that daily habit
of Starbucks. Oh, well, I'm sorry. All right.
But I think a little bit of tradition and habit helps growth on everything.
It's discipline in any way, shape, or form. And, business blogging requires consistent, long-term effort, not short sprints of intense activity. So you see much better results blogging every other day for a year than blogging twice a day for 2 weeks, and then stopping for 4 months later. Anyway, the frequency is the key, and the readers don't know when you're actually releasing that next bit of information.
Good analogies.
Yeah, absolutely. This next one's really cool. Keyword strategy is like applying to college. Okay, now check this out. You're going to apply to different types of colleges whenever you're doing these different keyword strategies for your website. Okay, you're going to apply to Reach, to Target, and even safety schools, right? You might get into your Reach school. Your safety schools are like a sure thing, okay? And everything in between is what you're gunning for. And with hard work, you could probably get in. Okay, you tracking with me here? So approach your keyword selection. These are the target places that you want to be found on different search engines, right? There are some really desirable words out there that you'd like to rank for, but they're typically quite competitive, right?
The Harvard words.
The Harvard words, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
For example, mortgages, right? I mean, if you want to actually. And this goes to the business owner if they have these trophy words that may be a little bit mistimed or they misconstrue how easy it's actually to get into those spots.
Especially nationwide, and we're talking about just the couple words, right?
That's right.
Not long tail.
Exactly. So, I mean, they're pretty competitive. Think these, like internet marketing, right? Well, all right. But if you actually type in, Indianapolis internet marketing, which is, a much more qualified term. Oh, guess what? By the way, who's at the top of the list there? That's Site Strategics. But you're going to have a better response rate. So you should put some effort into ranking these Ivy League terms. But you're going to see much more quicker results if you target the community college terms, right? Or long tail words, keywords. They'll still provide you great business results, but they're much easier to rank for. I tell you what. We're going to come back with the rest of our analogies right after this break. Stay tuned. I got some neat stories here on the other side. You're listening to News Talk 1430 WXNT. This is Edge of the Web.